Welcome to Conversations with My Cuz. I am Shayla Shay.
It is me, your girl Michelle with the 1L.
It's me, brother love, DJ Big Rock.
And
Hey,
he's back.
What's
I
up,
done
ladies?
left us stranded
What's
last week. So glad to have you back because we needed your point of view last week, boy.
I was all up in the chat though.
I
you
know.
were
You never
yelling at
leave us
us, if I
completely.
can recall.
Exclamation points and all.
What's been
Yelling
going
at us.
on?
Like,
I was
what
on
the
the
hell?
phone like, oh.
It's a little different when you got to type the whole thing out, right? As opposed to being able to just say how you feel, give that whole thing going on. So
Definitely,
what's been
definitely.
going on? What's been going on with you?
Oh man, I'm down here in the South, new project. Got a club, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Working on that, and it's a lot of work. It's tiring.
We
Uh,
need t-shirts.
it's cool. I got them. You know I'm gonna get them, but
You got to come down there and grace them with our presence.
yeah, it's a big difference from promoting and DJing as
Mm-hmm.
versus being on the other side.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like sometimes I can walk out the club, that one's full of shit. But sometimes
Yeah,
it be real. And
It's
then
different when you the owner.
on the flip
right.
side of it, when you're dealing with DJs and other promoters, you got more of a sense of really treating them like human beings. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Mm.
So it's a great thing though. Shout out to me though.
Shout
Hey.
out to you. Shout out to you.
You keep it going, boy. There's always something going. That left hand and that right hand doing two different things.
Always. So what's up
What?
with y'all,
Yeah.
ladies? What's going on?
Making it do what it do,
Yep.
as always.
Holding it
Yeah,
down. We was holding it down for you, Rob. We was just
right.
waiting.
Nah, Shay, you said some things, but we're gonna address it. We're gonna address it now. I'm here.
It's a
only
fight.
me?
Yeah, we're gonna get right to it.
Fighting. They about to fight,
He was writing it down. I'll wait till next
Yeah.
Sunday, boy.
Wait till
Oh,
I
oh.
saw it popping.
You just mad about that Carolina rice. I see what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Right. What's up, Key? I see
Relationship
Key
is
in the
over.
chat. Hey, Key. I see Key in the chat.
Hey,
What's poppin',
fam.
family?
Yeah.
But you know what? I guess it's trending, but we lost Miss Holla. She's definitely was an internet sensation, an elderly lady
Yes.
who had no filter, said whatever she wanted to say out of her mouth and didn't care. And she was hilarious at the same time.
Very
so we want to
funny.
definitely shout her out. I do have a quick clip to play, just to pay respects to Miss Holla.
I've had a beautiful time. I'm rich, I'm famous, me, Oprah, Gail, and all them ladies.
All her rich friends.
Yeah, all my rich friends. Why are you crying? You should be happy.
With an amazing and long life that spanned nearly 10 decades, internet star Helen Davis, buoyantly known as Holla, has died.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I know.
Rest
y'all
in peace,
talking
Miss.
about now.
Yeah, she passed away. She was
Oh.
man. The last few months, she have a lot of videos out there. She'll cuss you out.
Yes, she did. Miss Frappe
Miss-
drinking somebody, right?
Yeah, man.
I know.
She was something. She was something, but she was definitely a pleasure to watch.
Absolutely. And
those
you know what's
days-
the beauty of being that age and being unapologetic and just being able to
Yes.
be who you are 100% and the world accept you,
Right.
and then her heart was in the right place.
It
just came out. Whatever
and
it was.
she wanted what
boy.
she wanted. You ain't gonna tell me what I can drink. I'm 90. I think she said she was 93, 94. I'm 96 years old. You ain't gonna tell me what I can't have.
Yep. Said, oh,
She
well, I
would
guess you ain't gonna have me then.
She would cuss out her granddaughter, and then she would catch herself. She would stop and go, "Come on, listen now. You take good care of me, and I don't want to do you like that. But you better leave me to bleep alone." Miss Holla.
Yeah,
Miss
she
Holla.
definitely.
What's up, Raleigh?
Yeah, I see him in the chat. And we also need to send some prayers to my family, to the Kyles family. They're going through a season right now. They are just, You know, it's a lot going on with them. He'll be back on the show soon, you know, because that's our background dude, the guy on the couch that makes everything move, you know. He turns the wheel. So we are definitely looking forward to his return and for things to just really kind of get back. And so, you know, just to chat our friends and family, just to pray for my family.
Yeah, send your prayers and your positive energy to the Cows family, the West Coast Cows family.
Yes, the West Coast,
the West Coast Cows family.
Yes.
Yeah,
For sure.
Please.
So what else has been going on? We good?
Yeah, we good. We good. Let's get to it.
All right.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Look, he's ready. He's back and he's ready. He's back and he's ready.
We gonna, I guess I could say, do you know what time it is?
Do you know what time it is?
How you like that, Rob?
It makes me laugh every time.
I saw it last week.
She don't want to sing no more.
I don't want to sing no more, you know.
Yeah, I got to get home and beat her.
I know. Get her back on track.
Listen, come on, Ike. Now, I'm sorry, Ike. I want to hang up my vocal cords.
Wait till I get home.
Anna Mae, you better sing the damn song.
That's right. Well, let's talk about our Let Me Ask My Cuz.
Let me ask my cuz. And listen, we need y'all to send us in some Let Me Ask Cuz questions for the new year. So if you can, send it to conversationswithmycuz@gmail.com, and we will definitely answer your questions online. Because, you know, we're experts that are not experts.
No,
right? We have strong opinions about situations, but it's solely our point of view about the situation. So you would at least get 3 points of view if you send in your questions.
And I'm right all the time. So I
mean, you know, they could take it for what they want.
Think that, but that's fine.
All right.
We know you think you are, and that's all right.
Just saying, you know, I've been through some things.
Well,
so which question are we gonna go first?
Is arguments.
Don't say it, Shay.
Should arguments in a relationship be avoided or encouraged?
I'm gonna let you go first since this is your first day back. Go on, brother love.
I don't avoid nothing.
Oh,
ain't nothing to avoid.
So
it's the saying. It is what it is.
I don't avoid nothing. Okay.
I don't avoid nothing. It is what it is.
Do you think that there is any advantage to a couple arguing out a situation in their relationship?
No, I think personally for me, it's an advantage of having communication and understanding. But once the arguments start, you put an energy out in the air and you can never take it back. So that's why I don't argue with anybody, because I will say the wrong thing. So I tell you, baby, listen here now. Listen here. Listen. I don't want to talk about your mama or nothing. So please, lady.
And you will.
Let's do this another time, because I will say the wrong thing. And this will go somewhere else. So if you love me and I love you, then let's calm down and have a conversation until we come to two tables, you know, same table, and talk. Let's leave this where it's at.
Did you learn that the hard way from being in relationships and constantly saying the wrong? And now that you've matured enough, is that something that you kind of, you know, I figured out that this is not the way to go? Well, I know I did. I learned the hard way.
Well, let me tell you, after being divorced and having two mothers to deal with, what I said in '98 still comes back to haunt me.
Yeah. And that's the one thing about it. You can't unsay something.
You can't take that in.
Once it's said, it's said.
That's all.
That's for sure.
That is absolutely true.
For me, I would say I don't like the whole, because to me, I feel like arguments tend to be between two angry people, right, as opposed to a conversation. So
right.
I definitely think an argument should be avoided, and conversations should be, and communication should be encouraged, as opposed to an argument. Because I don't know any people that argue and they're arguing nicely. How do you argue nicely?
Right.
There's no such a
It's
thing.
about, because to me, an argument is about winning. It's not
Yeah,
about
I agree.
resolution. If I'm yelling, it means that I plan on taking your head off with my words.
Yes, because
And
that's what's gonna
and
happen.
walk away and leave a dead body there, like, oh well.
And you know what?
You should left me alone. That's it.
And you know what? The bad thing about arguments is us as men, we always fall into this bullshit. Y'all women know us so well. You would
So
say
the
the
buttons to push
perfect
is what you're saying.
thing, the perfect thing that you know is going to take us there. You understand what I'm saying? So to me, it's like it doesn't even make no sense, because I be like, oh, I know you. You're trying to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, you trying to get me.
I
Yeah.
be like,
Now,
I don't believe you. I don't believe
It
you.
depends on what you're trying to do. Like for me, if I'm arguing, it's about winning, right? And
agreed. That's how I feel.
There's no
That's how I
right,
feel.
right. There's no
At that
and
moment in
unlike that,
time,
there's no respectful nothing going on.
yeah.
there.
Now Jerome
I'm
was
being
saying you can
disrespectful.
argue. You
No.
can argue respectfully, and I don't necessarily.
No.
With-
If I'm
If I get to the
angry,
point of
then it's an
arguing,
emotional thing, and then I'm
right.
done, and it's
It's
really
no
a fight
at
with
that.
words.
Yeah, because at that point, I don't even respect you in the moment. Because now I'm trying to tear your head off. So I don't. That's why I avoid arguments, because they don't end well.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, I do.
They don't end well.
I get where Jerome is coming from, because he's a male.
Yeah, I
And-
get it. All
and
you
I'm
have to do is
saying,
remember you're talking to somebody you love. Nah, yeah.
Because-
I still love you after I annihilate your ass. And
Right.
then it's back to being loving again.
Right, but that's what it is that us men, we try to refrain from saying what we're saying, what we want to say. And
Okay.
that's the bad part about argument. Like, the B word, every woman hates it. But you'll say it when you're in the car by yourself. You ain't gonna say it to her. So now
Right.
you get into this argument, you mad at yourself and feeling less of the man because you didn't say the B word. So that's what I tell you.
Oh,
Yeah. So can I add? So do y'all think that arguing is? Can you argue if you're not mad,
No,
or is it an argument?
it could be a
if I'm
heated
not
discussion.
right, it can be a heated or healthy. I want to say a healthy discussion.
Right.
But
Okay.
For me, I know when I've reached my limit, because then if I'm raising my voice when I'm talking to you, then that is me trying to force my side, right? Even if
Right.
the words are not disrespectful, it becomes combative
Right.
on my part. And then after that, it just means I'm going to go to other tactics. And that
Right.
means I feel unheard, etc. So at that point, I'm not looking to get resolution.
Yeah.
So then it's an argument, right?
Well,
So at
you're
that
trying-
point, I'm like, I
yeah.
got to back away from the whole situation,
Right.
because
But you know what I notice about arguments to me is, I think couples that always argue like all the time, sometimes to me personally, I feel it's a sign that you're at that end. That you can't even live civilly amongst
Right.
one another.
right.
And to me, and this is the thing where my mother always says something to me, and I never realized it until I got older. She says, if a woman can sit and disrespect you in the street, a woman will easily go sleep with another man because
Oh.
she had lost that respect. She doesn't
Yeah.
have
Once
that
the respect is gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
it's, so to me, when I see like the disrespect or the because it don't happen to me anyway, because I'm just that kind of guy, But I'm just saying in general, when it did happen to me, and I can admit that maybe I brought the reason for the disrespect, but at the same time, is once the respect is gone, the relationship is gone, and you can't.
Agreed. Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And I want to address this comment. The phrase, you think we fighting, and I finally think we are talking. Now, my thing is, if one person is upset, the other person is going to know they're upset. So how can a person not realize that that person is upset in that moment and that they're arguing? How do you not see that? Is my
Right,
is my
because if you walk
question.
away from the situation and your feelings are hurt, or you don't feel whole afterwards, you feel stung or you feel broken, that's not
He says
talking to.
arguing to when it's immature, but that's what arguments are. Somebody wants to come out a
Arguing is
winner.
always that.
That is always that. But that's why I feel like arguments should be avoided.
Well, that's why
And
I say
healthy communication should be encouraged. Arguing
Mhm.
should not be in the relationship.
I think
Right.
arguing altogether is an immature thing.
It is. It is because
it's lack of self-control.
Yeah, and if you
Absolutely.
can't
You know what I'm
have
saying?
a conversation with somebody without arguing,
So I learned,
Yeah.
being a man that I am, I always stay control of the situation at hand. So I don't
please.
have arguments. That's why I say ain't
Yeah,
nothing
you
I can avoid.
just make people want to slap you.
I'm
Right,
just
Shay,
saying.
what he does is he be like, look, if I raise my voice, it's over. That's really where he go, and he get that look on his face.
Because you don't
Like, we're
yeah,
not
because
doing this.
once that happens, it's a
hold on.
problem.
We got to be friends.
But hold on, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong too. So
Mhm.
like Shay,
Sometimes, sucker,
when we was in
sometimes.
Cabo, what was the whole thing in Cabo? Baby, I'm sorry.
Again,
Like how many times you gonna
it's
say
like I gotta
sorry?
go make up.
I gotta go make up.
So I did it again.
I did it again.
You sure did. It's like, woo, all right.
But that's realizing when you're wrong. You understand what I'm saying? And once you understand that, if I still gotta argue with you and I'm telling you I'm sorry and let's try to make it right, and you still going hard, then you know what? We gotta break up.
Yeah, but I'm
What is
also
this
not
comment?
one to I you should have read it on the side.
I
'Cause
I could
that's
have
a
read,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm also not somebody who will express my feelings in anger. Like if you do something to piss me off, or I feel like I know that I'm going to come at you in a certain way, I will shut down until I can get my words together enough to
Exactly.
get the resolution that I'm trying to get, as
Exactly.
opposed to hitting you with the words to say, nah. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like, listen,
Right.
you were this, you were that.
Right.
That's unacceptable. What happened? Let's figure that out so we don't go down that road again, because that's not going to continue to work for me.
Or how about this one? You say, I don't even want to start this conversation because I know it's going to be an argument. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
certain things you gotta, it's certain things. Sometimes it's really best to even be quiet. And I know people want to get their point across, but sometimes that's selfishness because if a certain conversation is going to tick somebody off, and you still want to get your point across about it,
Mm-hmm.
what does that say about you?
Yeah.
It depends, and it's about the words you use, right? I don't remember where I heard this from, but someone had told me that when you are in a relationship and you're gonna have to have some kind of a tough conversation, or you're upset or angry, that to diffuse it, you should hold hands before you say what you're gonna say.
Oh hell no!
Yeah,
Because, and I know it
Listen.
sounds crazy, right? But it's like, if you done did something to me, right? And I'm furious, and I go to hold your hand, there's that physical connection that says, I still love you. I don't want to hurt you. I want resolution. Like, it can shift your mindset. So yeah, I don't
know if I'm not holding your hands. I'm sorry.
I understand, but I did.
At that moment, I might not even want to look at your face. So let alone hold your hand.
Yeah, and that's why I tell you. That's why I say arguing, to me, you do want to avoid it, but to me, if the arguments come like that, I think you better look to avoid the relationship at that point.
I mean, especially if you argue all the time. I mean, I've seen relationships where all they do is fight and all they do is argue, and I'd be like, well, just break up.
You know what it is too? Is I feel like when we were younger, right? we always argue because with our mates was because we're still trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure us out. We're trying to figure the situation out. You're trying to figure yourself out as a person or where you want to be. By the time you get to the age where we at, being that y'all a little more mature than I am,
No, nobody
you
had
know,
to. Nobody.
I'm just trying to say
That's why.
Just
is that
because.
is that now a lot of the arguments. That's why I don't argue, because a lot of the stuff is we have a lot of stuff in life figured out already. So my thing
Agreed.
is some of the arguments is really stupid. You
A
know,
lot of it is.
you
A
could really,
lot of it
yeah.
is.
And if the arguments have to keep coming, that means we're not playing on the same
We don't like
on
each
the
It
other.
it also means you
right.
don't have the capacity to express yourself well. Because
Agreed.
and if you did, then the argument wouldn't be there because you'd be able to say, "This is my problem." And
Not,
sometimes you reacting to the situation and not the real issue.
but Shay, now you don't cross the line of crazy. That's
well,
Oh,
here's a question. Here's a
oh,
question. What's better to argue and get your stuff out, or to not argue and hold everything you feel in? I don't think you have to argue to do that. That's
I
right,
a
don't either.
conversation. That's the
right.
conversation.
Right.
You don't have to argue to communicate.
You
At
don't have to
all.
argue to communicate. You know,
Ever.
arguing is we're both angry and we're trying to go for the juggling, and somebody's trying to come out a winner. And I don't think that two mature people in a loving relationship should be doing that.
All right,
I agree.
so listen, I had a friend. She just broke up with a person of hers. So she calls and tells me the guy breaks up with her, and he says, "Well, he just moved out, like whatever it was, she put him out the home or whatever the case had been." He tells her, "Well, I'm living with another woman that I was dating 2 years ago because you put me out and I don't have nowhere to go." And I told her, "Why would you even have conversation? That's somebody trying to hurt you." Even
Right.
if that was the situation, because he's probably laying on his boy couch anyway. Nigga probably lying. You know what I'm saying? But at the
Right.
same point is you got somebody that's trying to hurt you to take a stab at you.
Right.
At that point,
Agreed.
you already know you're not even 30 days out of the relationship and you shacking with somebody else. If somebody would tell
Yeah.
you that, then you already know. Block, don't return no phone call,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it, because now you don't cross that line. That's worse than arguing.
Yeah.
But
And it's
Yeah.
so funny you should mention that, Rock, because it actually brings us into the second question, right? Which
Mhm.
and let me get that one. It says, I've recently gotten out of a 3-year relationship and I'm trying to adjust to the single life again after so long. They were living together during the relationship, and the person who wrote in said they feel like they lost themselves. Now they want to regain their independence, but it's not 100% sure about where to start and what that really means. So trying to start their life over again. The question is, where do I go from here? And so the topic of this particular show is just that. How do you bounce back from being in, a relationship, and when that relationship is over? What are some of the things that you do? So what kind of advice would you give your friend who is now in this situation with the dude that, is living at the friend house or the ex-girlfriend house? What kind of advice would you give her to move on from that situation?
Get another man. No money playing.
I knew he was going to say that. Why did I know
He
that
gotta
he was
dig
going
down
to
low.
say that? Because, but to be clear, a lot of people feel like that.
No,
A lot of people go that route.
Saying?
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, I don't say get into another relationship, but I do say date immediately. You're not looking for nothing, but sometimes dating is healthy. Meeting people is healthy. Not to say you're looking to get married or anything, but when you start dating, one thing I realize about dating is that you you tend to take better care of yourself. You tend to your mind is just somewhere, you're occupied with things. You'll get up and go to the gym. If you're sitting at home depressed, not doing nothing, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna sit on the couch eating bonbons all night. Now, if you getting ready for a date, You know what?
Bonbons.
You might go ahead and go to that gym and work that 300 calories just to get that little back fat off. You understand? So to me,
Did you
Back
say
fat.
back fat?
He sure
that little
did.
back fat.
Little back fat. We're
Okay,
gonna work
a
that
little
out.
back fat.
The
Get
back fat you
off.
got in the relationship.
That's excess
Them
weight from the
handles.
relationship.
I like back fat. I tell girls, don't worry about this, baby. This is good loving right here. It's like
So,
candy.
I
you
don't-
didn't have it. You didn't have the back fat before the
like
relationship.
So you get it. That's
You
how
got
you
it
lose
in the
yourself.
relationship.
That's
So
how you lose yourself. You need to send that back fat in that bag with him. That's what you need to do. Is take this back
you
fat
take
with
this
you.
back fat with you.
Nah, but
But
honestly,
I don't know if I agree with you about that, because I feel like that as a woman, if I'm gonna go right back out there and date, I got a lot of anger and resentment and other things that I'm gonna carry with me that I'm gonna give to that other person
Yes.
who isn't deserving of it. But I do
Mm.
understand the idea of getting back out. I just don't think that it's about being in a relationship.
but
I think
right,
it's about
He said dating, though. He did say dating.
Yeah.
hold on,
dating,
and
but
that's what
even
That's
that,
what
you
I'm saying.
sitting there talking about your ex and how you're still pissed off. Is
Yeah,
that
you
him?
still kind
You
of.
ducking?
Nah, but
Is
it's
that
not.
him walking through the door? Oh God, I gotta go.
No,
Sorry.
but again, like I said, dating, and you're not gonna sit there and talk about your ex and all that old crazy stuff. If it's somebody
Shit,
that
you'd be
you
surprised.
don't,
People
well,
do.
no, if it's somebody like you don't even really know, but it could be a date. It could be anything. You go to dinner, have a friend, whatever the case. It could be something, But I encourage people. You have to. The quickest way to move on is really get yourself together and really try to meet other people, because you just prolonging the situation. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We
I
back
hear
there
you.
again.
Yeah, we got to go back here again. Yeah, I don't encourage that.
Okay.
And the reason why I don't encourage that is because like Shay was saying, for women and for men too, because I've met those men that have just broken up and their whole conversation is, yeah, that one, and he talking mad
Tell you the
reckless
whole
about
story from the
the
beginning
last
to the
stick.
end.
And I'm like, that's a turn on for me, because as soon as you start talking about the last, I'm like, all right, you're not over her yet. So I think there needs, yes, Rashay, maybe that's not you, but I've experienced those dudes more times than I can count that have come into a situation and all they're talking about is what the last chick did or his ex did that he was with for 20 years, and now he's out here on the dating scene and he's trying to, date again, and he's talking about
Stumbling and fumbling around.
yeah, and
But-
trying to figure it all out, looking for somebody to save him from his
No,
last
but-
situation.
But see, you take it as that. What I'm saying is that when you're dating,
What?
no, listen to me. When you're dating, I'm not looking to do anything. I'm just looking to date,
So-
go out, have
So what
fun.
is dating then?
I'm
Don't you have a
having
conversation?
fun. No, just go. Sometimes
not-
you like you. Hold
Let's-
on. Hold on. Let me explain this. Let me explain my.
Yeah,
thought.
please do, because I don't know.
Sometimes I travel, right, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I might turn around and say, "Hey, let's go to the movies. I don't hang out with dudes."
You looking to sling
You
your
understand?
salami.
Well, no, I do that anyway. And I told you it's the
See,
pink
for you, it's a whole different thing because
Panther.
you're
But
what
I'm
you call
trying
it?
The
Pink-
Pink Panther.
Panther.
Oh, shit.
Now,
It sounds
So-
terrible.
Well, I don't ever. That
Sounds
sounds like it
ugly.
looks awful. Yeah, it's
It
like
does.
this
It
looks-
sounds ugly.
Don't say that no more.
As
We
soon as
can't-
I envisioned it, it was
cancel
just
that.
really ugly.
we canceling that name for 2023.
We're gonna have to help you find a better one.
nah, that's a
Because
good
that
one.
ain't it. No, that's not it.
It
But
has
see, here's the
reasons.
thing. Rod doesn't date to get in a relationship.
Exactly.
Right.
to
He dates to have
entertain.
fun.
Right.
Right.
And that's a
Okay.
different thing. So if that's what you're doing, right, then I understand his concept about it. But one of the things that he mentioned that I think is a great thing to do is to get yourself back out into the gym.
Okay.
Start to refocus your energy
Yeah.
on
Agreed.
self-love, right?
Right.
Because
Right. I agree.
oftentimes in a relationship, part of being in a relationship is always considering your partner. And when you become single, you now have to take that energy and redirect it to yourself. And unfortunately, you really should be using a lot of that energy in the relationship on yourself to stay healthy and whole, so you're not broken when it's all
Agreed.
over. But oh gosh,
Dun, dun, dun. How the song go?
I don't know. Y'all better get off of his.
You need
penis.
your thing set up. I can't think of
Anyway.
it. All right. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So for it's like going back to, I mean, you should, right? Get your hair done, go get that hair cut, clean up, look at your wardrobe, start to do those things.
Ain't nothing like going on a date. You getting ready, you just got you a fresh, you know what I'm saying? You got your thing going on. You look at yourself, check your arms out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
it's
Okay.
it's a good thing. Like,
It works
I
for
got
you.
a scenario. I have a scenario.
what's
You
the
broke
scenario?
up today with your partner, right? And it wasn't a good breakup. It was a bad breakup because there was a lot of fighting going on and FUB and get the F out, I hate you. Those emotions are not easily that's not something that can easily just go away when the relationship is over. So no. So if you're just looking, okay, I just had this horrific breakup with this person. So now here I go, hey, so what you doing? Let's go hang out. No, I'm pissed off because now I just spent a whole lot of time with someone that I loved, and now I have to get past that.
Okay.
Right.
And dating another man is not going to help that.
Can I give you a scenario?
Go ahead, break on with your scenario.
Have you ever been on the phone with a friend and that annoying fucking person calls your phone? You're like, hey, yeah, I know we was chilling. It rang. What? What do you want? You never did that?
I don't
I don't
know
know.
what's happening.
I don't.
You never been on the phone with somebody and you
Okay.
having a great conversation. You laughing, you joking.
Right.
And then here comes the Grim Reaper on the other line.
Another phone call.
And
Okay, that person
you
calls.
click over, your whole attitude changes.
Oh.
What?
Mhm,
What?
yes. Mhm.
No, we ain't talking. Click. Hello. Anyway, it happens all the time. That energy, you have to understand, is you're directing it at that person that you had a situation from. That person you just hanging out with as a friend or anything, that's just what it is.
Okay.
So I
What
wouldn't
else would you
get that
do?
energy somewhere else.
Okay.
We'll go. We got it. What else would
Okay.
you do
What
besides just go out and date other people? You're gonna share
Are there
your
any other
social
steps that you would take to get over a breakup of somebody that you really was in love with?
Mm.
Like, cause I was the person just okay, it's broken up now. That's
Another
it.
thing was is learn
Just moving
to
on.
learn to accept it as well.
Oh,
You
that's a
understand what I'm
good.
saying?
Okay, that's a
That's
good
You
one.
have to learn to accept it. Like, to me, it's bad because when people say they keep it real, right? So to me, you say we break up, all right, it's over. I could take that
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it is. Because you already helped me. You already helped me understand why this ain't working out. Now I
Mhm.
know I ain't crazy. You don't want what we got, what we're trying to do. So
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Thank you.
Right. I think also not having contact with that person helps.
Let it be over.
When let it be over.
Let it be over.
But
You know why?
and
Because
Rob,
I got exes right now that still we on some like, what's up? What's
and
good?
I think what I also want to impress with Rod is that we're coming from this from a position of you being really in love with the person. Like, this is a relationship that was going somewhere. You've been in this thing
Yeah.
for a while and now it's over. And so there's a lot when you're building with someone that it just shatters. It's like the floor comes from underneath your feet. And those are the things that are like you stumbling around for a little while. So yeah, you can get out and date, but I agree with you that part of that is accepting the fact that that's happening. But it's like, how do you shift your mindset from always considering this other human being to now looking at your life from a place of this is about me and being healthy about it? Because we could drink, we could, cry and drink and cuss and carrying on and go find a car, bust the tires, you could do all
What
kind of unhealthy stuff. But what's the healthy road. That's where I'm
But
Agreed. And
right,
thinking
especially
about
for
it.
somebody you were building with, somebody
Yeah.
you bought some property with, somebody now you got to separate all of that.
no,
It ain't just easy to just like, okay, let me just start dating again.
yes,
Like,
it is.
can you just, okay, well, for you,
This
that's
is
fine.
because the reality is, if something's not working out, and if I love you and you don't want this, then honestly, if you remember, love don't hurt. People don't. People that love people aren't out to hurt people,
But breakups do.
but breakups do. But love is not supposed to hurt. So
It's
if
not.
somebody, hold up. So if somebody loves you, or if you love somebody, you're not going to hurt them. So if somebody tells me that it's over and I love them, I have to let them go, because I don't want to make you unhappy, or I don't want to make you miserable. Now
Agreed.
I know you're making a big mistake. You'll find out later. But
Oh,
what I'm
oh,
trying to figure it out,
oh,
but at the same time is that
okay.
love don't hurt, and that's the thing. When you're young and they tell you they want to break up, you're selfish. Selfishness creates hurt. You understand? But love
Right.
is so
All
what?
of this is true.
Right. So walking away is actually the best thing that you can do. And it hurts. So if you feel a little lonely,
What do
go
you do?
go
And
go on
that's
your,
where
I
we're at.
have
go
to
on your
say this.
Rolodex.
If I encounter a dude that is just recently out of a breakup and he's unbothered, I'm looking at that kind of weird to me.
It's not, but see, it's not unbothered. It's not.
It is.
No, it's
I'm
not.
saying it based off of you. If I broke up with her yesterday or him
A week ago,
yesterday,
a month ago.
a week ago, and I'm already out here dating and I'm not bothered the slightest, like,
But
Hey,
then
hold up.
there's no
dealing with
emotional a level of
Wait.
emotional
Just
intelligence there at all.
no. Just because, see, here it is. That's just like it is. But because that's like if you're in a relationship and you're cheating with somebody, right? People cheat and they say they love this person. So it's best to break. If you break up, you can date. So
Okay, well,
it's
here's
like,
the point that Jerome is making, that one person was in love, maybe the other person wasn't. But my thing is, if we're rocking together and we're 10 years in, 15 years in, how can this one person not be invested into the situation? Because then what's up with that?
but it's not that you're not invested into the situation. Is now you have to do what's best. Why would you want to force
Nothing
yourself
wrong with
in?
that.
Why would you want to force yourself into a situation? That's the problem with relationships now. People fight, they break up, they get back together because some people feel like they don't want to hurt the other person and they know they want to
That's
be there
true.
and they do
That's
things like
true.
that. So look, from past experiences, if the breakup comes, then you know what? Let's break up.
Do you think that? What do you think about closure? Do you think that that's something that people should seek when a relationship is ended?
No, it's bullshit. That's all bullshit. Ain't nothing wrong with closure. You're gonna figure it out later. It's gonna come to you.
What
Yeah,
do
I
you think,
think
Joe?
closure. I
Right,
think
right.
closure is a bunch of crap too.
Yeah, it is. It
That's
is.
just a way for a person to hold on
Yeah, to hold on to
to
you.
the
And
situation.
it's
Yeah.
cool. Now, I'm not saying that listen, man. I'm brother love. I love every. I love.
Okay. Okay.
So but I have to love and move on.
All
Yes, what
right.
Papa's doing, God. I have to move on.
Oh,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying?
Well, take that, huh? Take that.
I'm trying to tell you some things. Listen to what the man is saying. It's real shit. So you got to move on. But again, if
Well,
somebody
Puffy is a narcissist and he lacks emotional
we're not gonna
maturity
talk.
anyway. So, but anyway, let's move on.
Hey, bad boy.
I'm
Take
just
that.
saying. I'm just saying. Take that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Is that, but honestly, is that, and this man openly admitted that he was in love. She moved on, had another family, and he really he's got to move on, and he's got somebody else that's better than who he was terribly in love with. So at the same time, what is he supposed to do as a person? This woman done moved on, had a whole nother family, and you supposed to be sitting there eating Cheetos trying to figure
So his
How
his
about
solution
this?
to the issue was to just find somebody else
Find
and just
somebody
jump
else.
right into another relationship.
no, because he made it clear. Even if you watch the interview that he had with the young lady, he said, "I'm single," and it's clear that they're dating. But he gave the platform and said, "This is what it is. I'm not looking to get into nothing.
Right.
I'm just having fun." Yada yada yada. Whatever it is, as long as
We
you
can't. But
honest
Puffy's
about
a
it.
bad example though, because
No, no. Why is he a
he
bad
wasn't in
example?
no because he wasn't in no real relationship with these
He was
people.
in a relationship.
With
The girl-
who?
what was the girl name? The girl that
Not
got married and had a baby. And he's still in love with that girl. That's what this is all
who?
about.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
What is the girl name? I can't even think of the girl name, but the girl he couldn't really get over. But what
So
I'm
he
saying,
was hurt. So you're saying he got hurt and he's out here just
that's what that move,
slanging.
that's
He's
what
slanging.
that's what that move on record is about.
Okay.
But
Okay.
again, saying is that it's all right to know you love somebody, but you still got to move on and live your life. So
But
to
what
me,
about
That's what the question is about. How do you move
how
on?
do you move on? What about
Right, it's
this?
not-
What about self-reflection? What about looking at the situation from a perspective of what did I do wrong? So I don't do it wrong in the next situation.
right.
Or, I always feel like taking time for yourself after a breakup is very, very important.
yeah, when you're
So-
young,
No, absolutely
When
not.
you're
What do you mean you're young? What the? Now,
When
if I
you're
was in a relationship with somebody for 30 years and I break up, that's serious, okay?
mm-mm.
That is not a situation that you could just be like, oh, well, it's over. Let me just go on and get me somebody else. You spent the majority of your life with this person.
So
And
what
now
are you
you have
gonna
to
hold? What you gonna
let me
hold on?
finish. Let me finish. Now you have to get back out there in the dating scene. And as you get older, as some of us know, it's a little harder to find somebody, because they say what they say, there's piss in the dating pool out here these days, and it's true. So you do have to kind of prepare yourself for
But
that.
that's the fun part about dating is just the separation of what you got to
Okay,
do.
if
But
I'm not a serial dater, so I don't date multiples at the
Shit.
same time. That's just not me.
But
I don't do that.
what's dating? Dating is that you could just go to dinner, walk
Hanging
into the
out with a
park,
friend, yeah,
sitting
I
at
don't think
Starbucks with somebody.
that's not a
isn't
date to me. That's just
Why
me and the homie kicking it.
So what?
If I go out with you, are we on a date? No.
No, not that. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying in general is like there's nothing wrong with dating and going out. You have to move on. Self-reflection and all that stuff. Yeah, it works when you're younger.
You
We've
like
all
the
been
hell
there.
with self-reflection. I'm just
Right. No,
No, he
no.
ain't
Hold on.
reflecting on
he ain't
nothing.
reflecting on nothing.
Listen to me. At a certain point in your life, you should be at a place where you understand yourself. You shouldn't be a 50-year-old man telling somebody I'm still trying to figure myself out. No.
Okay,
I think
I
to some degree,
No.
yeah.
I don't know
understand
about
to
that.
some
You know
degree.
why? I don't know about that, because growth doesn't stop. Elevation
Right, I
doesn't
But
stop.
what you always
Who
can
you're
grow.
becoming doesn't stop. So sometimes you don't necessarily know things about yourself, because if you're with somebody for 30 years, you could lose yourself in that situation, or 10,
Yeah,
15
you're
years.
right.
So now you got to find out who you really are without this person.
No,
That's not
but-
something
but-
that you just
but
wake
who's
up and say,
fault is
oh, I'm here.
But
This is who I am.
but you don't depend on somebody else, like I said before.
It's not a dependence at
And
all.
no, it is a dependence. What you
But
what
it is
you're saying is
well, you do
dependence.
have a dependence, a codependency to some degree when you're in a relationship, a long-term relationship.
Right. No, you don't
So,
have
but-
codependency. Why? That's when
you
you're
kind
young.
of do, though.
That's what I'm trying to get you guys to
I
understand.
don't see how you cannot be in a relationship with somebody for 25, 30 years and there is no dependency on one another.
Because if it's at some point, if it was a healthy relationship, then I would think that the two of you have become in some way like simpatico, right? You start to do the
Right.
same things. There are certain things, that habits that you both develop. And then when you're not together, those same habits become
Yours.
pain. Well, no.
Yes, right.
No,
That
but
too.
It becomes a point of pain. So for example, for me, when I had my last relationship and it was over, one of the things that I did was I bought an entirely new bed and I redecorated my whole bedroom, because I didn't want anything in that room to bring that energy, because I knew that I needed to let that go. And that was one of the things that I did for myself, was like, when I walk into this, nothing about this is going to remind me of that last relationship. So everything was brand new.
Right.
And I might be extreme, but
no,
for me, it was necessary.
I know, I get it, because that's what women do. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that
No, what we're not gonna do is that.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Let him say it.
Listen,
No, you go and say what you gotta say, because I'm gonna
I'm
mute
just
you.
saying because I hear that a
I'm gonna
lot.
mute you.
But what I'm trying to get you to
I'm gonna mute you.
understand is that we act like in a relationship breakups, right? They're not coming. We could see breakups coming, especially in the years that we're living now. So it's at that point of when are we going to make the decision to throw in the towel, because these relationships can be sickening, and
They can.
Two people together could be sick. There's no way in the world you know that this relationship is not working out, and you're still pressing to move forward, and y'all can't say hello to one another in the morning. It's over.
Okay.
Even when you know that, it doesn't stop the fact that when it ends, it's hurtful. Right. And so what we're talking about, because you trying to get us to understand about breaking up, and we're already saying we've broken up. And here I am sitting in the space of having broken up, and now I'm sitting in this house by myself, in a house that I moved in, bought with this man, and now he's gone and I'm all by myself in it. How am I going to get myself to a place where I'm healthy and whole? That's what we're talking about.
Right.
The breakup is fine.
Right. But
getting there, deciding, knowing it's coming.
You've already said
feeling it.
Right.
That was one of his things.
That was one of your go date.
Acknowledge that it's happening.
Right. But when
and acceptance.
But again, okay. So when I had my major breakup, I was like 40. Right, 38, 39, 40.
So what did you do to bounce back?
Bounce back. Well, like I said, you go through it and you figure it out. But what got me to actually bounce back was really moving on. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Actually getting out there and dating and trying to figure it out. Did I do look at myself, self-examination? Yes, I did all of that. But at the same time, I had to move on. I couldn't stop and think about this. That was too much energy. Why can't
and that's fine.
Move on?
Right. And so self-reflection, and then at some
acceptance,
point, getting back out into the dating pool. Right. So that's what you're saying. Those are the two things that you did.
But what I'm trying to tell you, at that time, self-reflection work. Hold on. Work at that time. That worked. Ain't no breakup going down at this time in my life. I ain't reflecting on nothing.
Okay, that's fine.
But that's fine. But the whole point of the topic of the show is, what can people do to bounce back from a separation if that's their situation? And that's what
self-reflection is one. And Michelle, you said that a little bit earlier. Sometimes you got to sit back and you got to think about what you contributed to the situation, so that when you are going, you don't bring that same energy into the next one.
Anything else, right?
You got to see the situation for what it is, right? Because sometimes we like to, especially when we're in the mess, you want to pretend that it's not as bad as it really is. And sometimes it means sitting there and going, this was some crap. And in that, right? Like and this is another thing I did from the last relationship. I saved a message that I received on WhatsApp from my ex. So I will always remember who he really was, because it was low. It was a low down, dirty. I look at that and go, that's why.
Can I
and you also have to disconnect too. You got to disconnect from that person.
Take all this stuff out your house.
Yes,
I mean, anything y'all bought together to me.
But let me ask y'all a question. Y'all don't think that sometimes, just sometimes, that being with somebody could make you that ugly man that she said that on the WhatsApp, whatever? Because to me, to be honest with you, when I went through what I went through, I ain't gonna say no name, but what I'm saying is when I went through it, I realized that person made me an ugly person.
It brought it
That
out of you.
person's energy, it
Okay.
brings you out. So at the same time is now that the relationship is over, we're the best of friends. Because you know why? You're not that love interest.
Yeah,
So
you
what
know
I'm trying to tell
connected.
you is that, but I look at myself then and be like, I could never, like, what was wrong with you that somebody could actually put you in that headspace?
I want to
Okay.
say to some degree, right? However, if you are the type of man that would beat a woman upside her head, then you're that type of man. And there's a woman can't make you
Make you be that.
be that thing because a
Absolutely not.
man who is not going to hit a woman is
It's
going to
not going
walk
to hit a
away.
woman.
He's
All
just
right, so
not going to do it, right? Unless it's a life or death situation. I mean, and this is terrible, but I've been pinned down because I flipped out. You know what I'm saying? Didn't get hit, but it was like, you know, shake
Let me
the shit out of you.
restrain her. Let me
Exactly.
restrain her.
Because I
Right.
flipped out. This is younger days, but
Right.
but here
because
we
he
go.
was just not that kind. And
But
so to some degree, before you protesting, but some men, you're just not that thing. And I get what you're saying. Some people will trigger you.
It's
But
a
then
trigger.
you got to say to yourself, this is not somebody that I need to be
I
around.
am right.
but
So a
see,
person can't make you be anybody that you're not.
Right.
but
It's already in you.
but I think when you start getting into abusive things, that's borderline of
No,
crazy.
period. I just believe
Right.
that in any
That's
shape, form, or
borderline
fashion,
crazy,
you are who you are. A
mental
person
health,
cannot. A person might trigger you to react to a situation,
no,
but they can't make you react that
no,
way.
but when you're in a relationship and a relationship is bad, your headspace could be bad. I'm not talking about doing nothing crazy. I'm just talking about your energy is bad. Your aura is off because
Absolutely.
you go to work, you just might flip out for no reason. You might mess up on your job because your headspace was bad. People go to work all the time and lose jobs because they made mistakes because their head was somewhere else.
It's a
Or
choice.
right, you went or you that mood you was in, you should have stayed home.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So
I agree.
like I said, and when you look back, like me, I can look back at all my relationships and say that majority of them I had no business there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
And
why I
you
said a
realize
lot of the time,
that's
right?
realization. Yes.
That's why sometimes I say, but it took me to move on to go out and meet other people, meet different women, understanding what it is for a woman to love you, what it is for a woman to truly want to be with you. Because some people don't even give themselves that chance to have that opportunity. If you don't know it,
Right.
then you'll still be harping on that. And clearly, she wasn't for you.
And that's great. And that's all that what you're saying is true. But
That's why
once we realize that all those things after we break up, so this is where we're talking about the self-acceptance. The acceptance, the self-evaluation, the dating, going out there and dating. That might not be everybody's thing. You know, some people might not decide that, okay, I want to interact with the opposite sex right now because I want to deal with this situation because I'm still hurting. People, women, we hurt. Men hurt.
Yeah.
Some do it just to forget about the last situation. I don't think that that's a good thing.
Right. Without the self-reflection.
Without the self-reflection. And that's where it comes. So, but if you choose to do those things, and I'm saying, I don't know if those are the healthiest ways to move on from a breakup, you know, to date. I don't having fun, hanging out with people. I think that's great. I can hang out with my homies. I can hang out with my friends, but to actually dating to me is most people date for a purpose.
That's the problem with them. With that.
Well, that's what dating is. If I'm hanging out, we're hanging out. We're not dating. I'm not going to call it a date. That means that I'm not expecting you to pay for anything because we're not dating. If we're hanging out, we're hanging out.
So I don't understand. So whoa.
That's not dating.
Whoa.
If a man is taking me on a date, he's paying.
Why? Why?
If I'm taking, what the hell you mean? Why?
Why can't y'all make a decision to go together or something?
Because then we're just hanging out. That's
Yeah,
friends.
friends.
Yeah, that's my homie.
Let me tell you, those be the ones that work out.
And that's fine. But what
Yeah.
I'm calling
In
it,
the
what I'm
long
calling
run.
it, I'm not calling it a date.
That's what I'm
And I don't
saying.
have
And
a
that's
problem with
also-
the friendship developing into in something else. That's fine.
Right,
But
right.
I'm looking at it as nothing more than just me and my homie is going to hang
Right,
out.
but that's the way I look at it. Maybe because I say it's dating, whatever.
Yeah, because when you say dating, that puts a whole different spin
No, I
on it.
don't. I might call, like I said, I might turn around and when I get home next week, I might be like, hey, you know what's going on? That's a friend.
Yeah, because we know what you're looking to do.
No,
at the end of the day.
I ain't looking to do that. But I'm saying
You are.
No, I ain't. But what I'm saying
Trying to get
is
the Pink Panther out.
With the Pink
Lord have
Panther.
mercy.
the
You
pink.
want to put in the work.
That sounds
Panther.
terrible.
In the new year.
Oh,
But what I'm trying to tell you is that no, it's not even looking to do that. But sometimes men like woman company. You understand what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
so-
true. I agree.
Right. I don't want to eat a burger with Rollo all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
Like,
don't have to, but
know,
that's why
so-
you got the homies. I
Right.
got male friends that I kick it with that I might not even have any kind of attraction for.
Right.
That we can go out just because he's a man and I'm a woman, and the dynamics are different, so we can go kick it.
Right.
But I'm not looking for nothing else other than that. Like, we not having sex, we not doing any of that.
Why wouldn't you though?
What the
Oh,
Why wouldn't you?
Because I don't want to have
But
sex
if-
with
but
my
if you-
homie.
Because if you was attracted,
that's your homie.
So
No, you don't. You're not attracted.
She just said
I'm not
she
attracted.
would be
I said
She
there
said
is
not.
no attraction.
There is
no
no
attraction. That's just the
okay.
homie. We're
Yeah.
just the homie.
I've had
And
homies
I'm definitely
I've
not.
been
I've done
attracted
the
to.
whole jumping from one relationship into another. That doesn't work for me.
I don't know. I'm not talking about relate. That's the problem. It's nothing
And
wrong
yeah,
with dating. We
that's
need to
why
do
I'm
a show on
saying
this.
I'm not dating.
Because I don't think
because
y'all
we're not
women
clear on what
understand
dating is and
dating
what kicking it
right.
is. Because
Right.
home
Dating,
with the
kicking it
homie,
is all the same shit.
no,
A
it's
guy-
not.
A guy looking for something, he ain't sitting there. Whatever the case, it could be companionship, it could
And
be
that's what you
friendship,
see.
it
That's
could be
the
whatever.
point.
You
The
understand?
men you say are looking for something. At the end of the day, the ultimate goal for the men is to hit. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. But it's
That's
sometimes
what you just
no.
said.
He's looking for it could be a friend to talk to, somebody to deal with. Like I said, right now I'm at a point in my life where I can't commit to somebody. I got so much going on. So my thing is, I don't deserve to have a friend. I don't deserve to be
Yeah,
able
but
to
you're
go out
not
on a
You
bouncing
date.
want a
back from a
friend with
breakup.
benefits.
But you're not bouncing back from a
But it
breakup.
does. Even if it was bouncing back from a breakup, it will still be. It's the same thing.
It's not.
Why you can't
Everybody.
masturbate? You don't have to be out there.
It's
having
not.
sex with,
It's
you know.
not.
Who
the
said I'm
same.
having sex? Whoa,
It's
America.
not the,
America.
it's not the same. It's not the same.
These ladies.
If you're out here dating and having fun, that is your business. What I'm saying, no. What I'm saying is, we're talking about bouncing back from a separation, from a breakup. And how about we just spin it and say bounce back from a breakup or a separation from a friend? That could be a little difficult too.
Oh no, it is a
No, I'm sorry.
I would
Especially
never
if
feel
it's
that way about a friend.
you don't. Well, I'm sorry. I have love
I
for
don't
my
have
friends.
that I
So
stop speaking to like that.
what?
That's childish.
We're not talking about you, sir.
All right, well, people need to grow up. Then.
We are talking about friendships that end because of whatever the reasons are. How can you say it's childish if a friend freaking does something that's horrible?
Oh, that's
It's not childish.
But
What?
that's my
Okay,
point.
I'm gonna need you to just listen one down.
I'm listening, baby.
Okay.
I'm listening.
I can't stand him.
I'm listening, baby.
I cannot stand him.
One time.
If you are a friendship ends, that can be a little devastating, especially if this person has been a part of your life for a really long time and now they're not. I couldn't even imagine.
That could be more devastating than male
right.
female relationship.
Because your friends are there when relationships end. So if that friend is not,
and I'm gonna tell you why that can hurt more. It's, in my opinion, is because your friendships, you don't have guards up, and you don't ever expect those friendships to end. Right? I just can't imagine being in a place where my lifelong friends aren't my friend anymore.
Right.
It would be devastating to me.
That would
as
be
opposed
devastating.
to a relationship. Sometimes you go into a relationship and you can say to yourself, what if? this doesn't work out, what would I do? But I don't have friendships that I ever think that way about.
Right. When me and Tanya stopped speaking for 2 months, that thing hurt my soul.
But you know y'all gonna start speaking again.
No, but
It
still,
doesn't
it
stop
doesn't
the
matter.
pain.
It doesn't matter. That thing hurt me.
Me
Okay.
and Tanya always start speaking, and she my blood sister.
I'm sorry.
Matter of fact,
Friendships like that, if we're not speaking, it's bothersome. Then I had your mama threatening my life if me and Tanya didn't figure it out. So
yeah, she does that too.
I know. I know. So that what I'm saying is that imagine if that relationship never ever came back to where it was.
Of course it is.
I mean, it would. Of course.
What
I'm saying
I'll
is
stop
that
speaking to you for 3 days. You piss me
yeah,
off.
because you be stupid and I don't even be knowing you mad.
But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that we gotta figure. You know, you grow up. Michelle's on. I get Michelle when I see her. Whatever. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that it's cool, but true breakups with friends, we know what it really is. Like you know, it doesn't happen that way. If somebody
it would have to really be something like you crossed me for real, like seriously at the end, and but just petty, stupid stuff.
Right.
I get it. But it can. But my point is, if you break up with a friend and it's for real, that can be more devastating than an actual relationship. Because like we're saying here, our friendships are lifelong friendships. Like that could never end. Like how does that end forever? Like that couldn't happen. So yeah, that could be a little crazy.
I don't know.
But we do need to have a show about dating. What's dating? Because
seem
to not be clear on that.
Because you sit there to he want to do just you take the drawers. Nobody ain't saying none of that.
I said nothing.
All men are looking to hit. That you said it. You said it.
That was a question, sir. I was asking.
Because that's how you think and feel.
Oh my God. I was a question I was asking.
But ain't nothing wrong with going on.
Because the ultimate goal, I was asking if a man is looking to do that, that is perfectly fine for him. I don't have an issue with him, but as a woman, I would have to know if that's what I want to do. Because I'm not gonna do that. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Because it's my box, and I could do with it what I please.
I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you.
Don't try to get me to understand nothing.
Sometimes when you give that thing away, you feel better. You know what I'm saying? This is a relief.
Maybe. I mean, at times. Sometimes you could feel better, but afterwards you be like,
feel so bad after. Hey, damn, it was good though, but Jesus.
I feel so used.
You go back, you still feel alone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you got to go home and go to bed by yourself. Like that's funny. And then he probably about to call the next one over. All right, she going. Let me get her tomorrow.
Go out on a date the next day with somebody else.
Right. So now, I'm feeling so. You got to wrap up in your blanket.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Look,
we know you don't see nothing wrong with it, Pinky.
We understand.
We got it. Tell you.
But we have come upon the hour where we end our show. This is a great conversation as always.
And look,
it can go on and on.
And going back to the question was great is we don't argue. We have conversation.
Yes.
Like this.
Or our production meetings.
That's right.
Now, would those be considered arguments, or would those be considered heated discussions?
No, those are conversations.
No, seriously, that's a good question.
That is a great.
Are we arguing in our meetings? Because are we having discussions that sometimes
you know what I
heated?
call that? Passionate conversation.
Passionate conversation. Because sometimes ultimately we are trying to get one another to see the other's perspective. So does that mean that it's a win? We're trying to win? I don't think that's a win.
I said passionate.
You always be trying to win, though.
He does want to win. He wants us. He's trying to get us to understand. And if he can get us to understand and agree with him, then he wins.
No, not, and that's your
Right.
problem, Shay. That's what be going on in production meeting. You dead wrong. But we ain't gonna have this problem on TV. We'll talk about it another time.
We ain't gonna talk
If
about
you
it until I
show
said we
up
gonna talk about
for
it.
a production meeting, then maybe we could have these discussions. But you know, you've been slacking.
I'll
So
be
fine.
home. I'll
I'm
be
about to
home.
find your
I'll be
ass.
home.
Fine.
Yeah, I know y'all changing songs and stuff. I gotta get on. I
Yes,
gotta
see,
get home.
you
Gotta
missing
get
stuff.
home.
You're gonna have to pay some money. Put some money in the jar. So as we gonna end our show, but before we end our show, we have to let you guys know where you can find us, where you can listen to us. And that is on Twitch, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and iHeartRadio. And as you know, we end every show with a quote. And that quote is, starting today, forget what's gone, appreciate what still remains, and look forward to what's coming next.
I like that.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we
I'm
gonna
looking-
see
I'm
y'all.
looking
No,
forward,
next week we're not here.
Oh,
Next week,
what's
next
that?
week?
Oh,
Super Bowl Sunday. Is it Super Bowl next week or is it the week
no,
after?
Super Bowl's on the 12th. All right,
That's next
We
week.
are here.
Next week is the 12th.
All right.
Oh,
Peace
peace
out.
and love, guys.
Peace and love.